About 2 years ago, I started collecting physical media, and I feel like I finally have enough in my collection to do an update video. So here is my 2025 physical media update. I finally had to move everything to a separate shelf, so I want to start at the bottom here. For starters, I have this really cool old boy collectible thing. It's just a regular DVD, but inside there's like a manga, there's a bunch of behind the scenes things, so more of a collector's edition thing. And then I have one more collector's edition Pulp Fiction. This is my newest pickup. Again, just a regular DVD, but I got it for $1.25. I've never seen Pulp Fiction. There are a couple of things in this entire collection that I haven't seen yet. They were blind buys, but I feel like I'm guaranteed gonna like them. So when I get to them, I get to them. But this one, massive blind spot, but glad I finally have this. And then I have my couple of Blu-rays. So firstly, I have Priscilla, and then I have the Iron Claw. So with Priscilla and the Iron Claw, I was just waiting for A24 to do some really cool release, collector's edition, maybe 4K type of thing, but they absolutely never did it. So these are the best versions of both movies that I can get my hands on. I hope one day we get something for these films, something cool, but A24 just is never giving it to us. So I'm sticking with these. And then I also got Monkey Man, which was sent to me by Universal. Absolutely awesome film. I love it so much. Top 10 of last year, actually. I have the Blu-ray for this collector's edition. Popped this in one time. I've also checked out a couple of the extra features. Amazing film. And then I have this really cool For Your Consideration neon package that I got this past awards season. It is absolutely one of the coolest things in my entire collection. So obviously the outside says neon For Your Consideration. It has all of the titles down here, and then when you pop it open, it's an actual booklet. This is the whole thing. And then inside, it obviously starts with Anora, who's their biggest awards contender this awards season. And then you just keep flipping. You got all the DVDs. So all of these awards considerations, and I have a couple more from like A24, Netflix, etc., etc. They're all just regular DVDs, not Blu-ray, 4K, or anything like that. But I mean, I think Neon's packaging is by far the best of anyone. And so this is something really, really cool to have. Probably the coolest thing I have in the entire collection, because not that many people really get to have it. So it's my prize thing. And then I have a couple of Criterions. My main Criterion section is actually up here at the top, this whole thing, but we'll just start with these. I guess these are the slipcover ones. So I have Parasite, which is one of my favorite films of all time. I have Uncut Gems, which is one of my favorite A24 films of all time. I have two copies of Fantastic Mr. Fox. One of them is Blu-ray, one of them is 4K. The one that's unopened is actually a present for a friend, just sitting in the collection for now. And then I have David Lynch's Blue Velvet. This was a blind buy. I haven't seen this yet, but I've heard only amazing things, so I wanted to pick it up during that last Criterion sale. During that last Criterion sale, I actually bought way too many things, and you guys will see more of what I bought up here. But then to wrap it up, I have my 4K collection starting just down here. Majority of this section is all 4K, so we'll get into that in just a second here. These are my 4Ks that I kind of grouped together. I would consider these to be some of, if not like the top 5 to 4 best films of the entire decade. So starting it off, we have Babylon and Oppenheimer. I love grouping these absolute 3-hour behemoths of films together. From two of my favorite working directors of all time, you have Damien Chazelle's Babylon and then Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. I've watched both of these on these respective 4Ks at least 3 times since I bought them, so I'm getting my money's worth. And then I have the best duology of the decade so far, and will probably end up being one of the best trilogies of all time, Dune and Dune Part 2. So I haven't popped in my Dune Part 2 just yet, but I have seen, obviously, this on my 4K, so absolutely love having these. I'm going to get the third one, Dune Messiah, when it comes out on 4K, but I'm also hoping they do some sort of like cool collector's edition like they did for the Spider-Man trilogy, which I also own. I'll get into that in a second, and then the other like box set type of thing I have, which is up next. But before getting into my 4Ks, actually, I do have this pretty big stack of just For Your Consideration movies, which technically I guess I could watch whenever I want, but I feel like streaming is probably higher quality than all of these, but I'll just go through all of them for you guys. So I have We Live in Time, Problemista, Amelia Perez, Maria, Tuesday, Civil War, Maxine, Love Lies Bleeding, I Saw the TV Glow, Heretic, Janet Planet, Sing Sing, Look Into My Eyes, and A Different Man. I think I've seen all of these except for Maria and Look Into My Eyes. So I did my homework, like I did 99.9% of my homework. But getting into the main chunk of my entire collection, I want to start off with my 4Ks, then I'll go into my Criterions, and then I'll get into my Steelbooks. And then as you can tell, obviously I do have a bunch of other collectibles all around here, all around my room actually, but I'll save that for another video if you guys want to see that, because if I go through every single individual thing and talk about every single individual thing, this video is going to be like 3 hours long. But for starting off with my 4K collection, I am bookending it with the Batman popcorn bucket and then the A24 Minari script book. This is the only A24 script book I have, but I do want the Lady Bird one as well. So that'll be in the future. For starters, with the 4Ks, I have the Planet of the Apes trilogy. This is probably top 5 trilogies of all time for me. I absolutely love this box set. It looks great. I've actually seen all 3 of the movies in this box set on the DVDs that they come with, because pre-Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, this was the best thing to have in my collection. I do want the Dark Knight version of this as well. They do a Dark Knight one where it's all 3 of them in a box, in a package. It's super, super cool. The next 4K thing I have is actually also a trilogy collection, except it's all just in one little container. It's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. This is probably my favorite trilogy of all time. Yeah, I've seen all 3 of these on my physical media. I rewatch Spider-Man 2 multiple times a year, so glad I have this. And then I have the Green Knight, which somehow got pushed all the way back here. Yeah, I have the Green Knight starring Dev Patel. I saw it during the IMAX re-release. I've seen it 2 times on my 4K, and then I also saw it in black and white one time online. I don't know what, it was like a special render thing, and then obviously in theaters originally. One of my favorite Dev Patel performances of all time. Very different than anything he's ever done in his career. Like obviously in Monkey Man, he does give a phenomenal performance, but the Green Knight is like way more stoic, way more exhilarating in my opinion, just a completely different way. Next up, I have Blade Runner 2049. This is my favorite February 14th rewatch. Also one of my favorite Ryan Gosling performances of all time. And then we have Jaws. I actually blind bought this, so I hadn't seen it when I originally bought it, and I popped it in literally the night I bought it. Absolutely amazing film. Very short, very quick, very sweet. Glad I checked this off the bucket list and that I have it in the collection. Next up is First Man. I haven't seen my copy specifically, but I watched it when I was in my big Damien Chazelle. Like right after watching Babylon, I needed to watch more Damien Chazelle. The only one I hadn't seen up to that point was First Man. Absolutely love that film. One of the most underrated Ryan Gosling performances of all time, in my opinion. You can check out my ranking of his entire career. Insane video, but had a lot of fun doing that. Next up, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once. I won't even lie to you guys. I really love this movie. I have not seen it since I saw it in theaters like 3 times the year it came out. I've not popped in this 4K at all, but absolutely love this film. And then we have The Fabelmans, one of the most underappreciated movies of this entire decade, dare I say. Steven Spielberg directs the shit out of this film. I think Gabrielle LaBelle is absolutely phenomenal. I feel like more people need to talk about this film. Next up, we have Star Wars The Last Jedi. This is absolutely not only the most underrated Star Wars film of all time, but it is also arguably the best Star Wars film of all time. Don't at me on that. Absolutely love this movie. The throne room scene is fucking phenomenal. I don't know how people don't like this film. Next up, we have Mission Impossible Fallout on 4K. I will say, it's the Mission Impossible thing and getting all these films on physical media is a weird fight that I have in my head every single day, because yes, I want every single film and I want them as soon as possible. But up until like a year ago, we didn't really know when the final Mission Impossible movie was going to be. We thought this was going to be the new one was going to be Dead Reckoning Part 2, and we were still going to get more films after that. Seems like this is going to be, the final reckoning. The franchise is kind of wraps after this. So when they come out with that way too expensive either Steelbook pack or like the trilogy pack type of thing that I have for Spider-Man or Planet of the Apes, when they come out with the massive 4K thing, I'm going to buy that. But the only reason I got this is because I got this for $6. The spine is a little bit messed up on the inside, but it's $6 for arguably the greatest action film of all time on 4K. I cannot say no to this. This is an absolutely amazing deal. Had to pick it up. And then I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, one of the best animated films of all time. Got this for Christmas, the year that it came out. Absolutely love this film. I really want to get into the Spider-Verse on DVD as well. And then also Beyond the Spider-Verse whenever it does end up coming out. I don't know if I'm going to get into it. I might just get like the big 3-pack trilogy thing whenever the final film comes out. And then I have Twisters. So I will say, for the most part, other than a couple of blind buys, I feel like this excuse doesn't really work anymore. I didn't purchase Twisters. I got Twisters sent to me by Universal. Absolutely love this film, so I don't even know why I have to preface it with this. But I normally try to only buy films that I absolutely love, like all-timers in my opinion. And I mean, for the most part, these are all absolutely phenomenal films. Twisters is great. It's like 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 for me. But it's not on near any level of these other films. I just have it in the collection. But for the most part, stuff I buy with my own money, I try to definitely just buy films that I know I'm gonna really, really like. I've had a couple misses when I blind bought Criterions, which we're about to get into this Criterion section here, but yeah, there's a couple misses here and there, so I'll get to those in a second. But starting up the Criterion collection, it is my second favorite thing of my entire physical media collection, and that is the Before trilogy. I do believe this is the Blu-ray version. I have not popped in any of these, but I do want to do a marathon where I'm watching all 3 movies in one night. That would be absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy I finally have this physically. It is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, so I'm really, really glad I have this. Next up, I have probably my first, and I would say only miss so far in terms of blind buying Criterions, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I can't really say it's a miss because I haven't finished the movie, but I'm like 40 minutes in, and I'm not really vibing with it to the point where I was like, I don't really feel like finishing this. So I need to give it a fair watch. I need to give it a full watch. But so far, I'm not the biggest fan. But I will be restarting this and watching this very, very soon. Next up, I have Cure. Haven't seen this one either. This was a blind buy. Oh, I have 2 blind buys right next to this. I'm just going to take them all out at the same time so I can give my little spiel together. I have not seen In the Mood for Love, Raging Bull, or Cure. I bought all 3 of these, I think, 2 Criterion sales ago. So it's been a while. I need to sit down and watch all of these. I do. I have such high expectations for all of these films, and there's 2 more as well that I haven't seen from my entire Criterion section. I wanted to sit down on the perfect night and watch this film and how my life changed. I feel like I'm just putting so much pressure on myself and these films to like them that I just never get around to them because I'm scared that they like potentially won't live up to the excitement or live up to the hype or whatever the case may be. Next up, I have Memories of Murder, Bong Joon-ho. This is, I believe, only the 2nd or 3rd Bong Joon-ho film I've seen. This was a blind buy. I watched it the night the Criterion got to my house, though, so absolutely phenomenal film. I knew I was going to love this. All my friends have recommended it to me. And then we have what I believe was my first Criterion ever, Sound of Metal, starring Riz Ahmed, one of my favorite films of all time. This movie is so devastating. It's absolutely amazing. I love films that are about like the chasing being the greatest. You know what I mean? And this is the exact definition of that. And then I have Perfect Days. I've only seen this film once, back when it premiered at the New York Film Festival. I think at this point 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Have not popped in the Criterion yet, but I had to purchase this. It is one of my favorite slow meditative movies about just life in general. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Changed my life after watching it at New York Film Festival. And then I had Triangle of Sadness. I bought this at the last Criterion sale. And the thing is, I absolutely love this movie, but I haven't seen it since it originally came out. I think when it originally came out, I gave it like a 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I really want to rewatch it. I love every single performance in this film. I love the pacing of it. I love how long it is. I just need to find the time to sit down and rewatch it and just kind of re-gauge everything about this film. And then to end off the collection, I have 2 of my newest Criterion pickups, and these are 2 blind buys, Frances Ha and Thief. I have not seen either of these films, but I absolutely want to check them out as soon as possible. Thief especially, I have heard nothing but amazing things about, and so these are 2 that I need to watch ASAP. But that wraps up the Criterion section. To end it off, I will go through my steelbooks here. Not all of these are 4Ks if I'm not mistaken. I'll try to specify whenever I get to them, but I have my newest newest steelbook that I picked up recently, Gladiator. I picked this up after watching Gladiator 2. This was on sale. It was like 18 to 20 bucks at Walmart. I had to pick this up. It came with a little poster that was just absolutely fucked up when I opened up this casing, but yeah, I really, really like this. It's not like the most unique steelbook design of all time, but it's really cool, and I watched this film for the first time this past summer. Absolutely amazing stuff. And then we have the thing that really started my entire collection, the Batman steelbook. I got this the day it came out at Best Buy, and I absolutely love this film. It also has my favorite disc designs of my entire collection. All of these are absolutely phenomenal. They all have like this little like clear part to them. The special features disc is Riddler themed, which is super cool. Red and black discs, absolutely love this. I hate that it's dented. It's my only like pretty fucked up steelbook, and I went back to Best Buy, got like 3-4 different copies, and they were all messed up, so I didn't really know what to do. I just kept it. And then we have The Departed. This one is my only steelbook that's a regular DVD. I literally got this steelbook for $8. I couldn't pass this up. I absolutely love this film. First time watching The Departed was a life-changing experience. And then we have Arrival. Not only is this a really cool cover, I got it for like 12 bucks. Sadly, it is only Blu-ray, which like that kind of sucks, but I mean, I popped this in. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Love Jeremy Renner, love Amy Adams in this film, and also the back is so cool. I absolutely love this film. Yeah, moving on, we have American Psycho. This is easily the coolest slipcover I've ever gotten. Look at this. The Mask of Sanity slipping. This is so sick. Easily the most creative steelbook I've ever seen in my entire life. They're making a couple more like versions of these like really cool slipcover arts, and so I'm excited to get my hands on more of them, but this is the only one I have that's truly like this. Absolutely amazing stuff. And then we have Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. This isn't my favorite Indiana Jones film, but again, this is one that was on sale that I just had to pick up. It's one of the newer designs, so it's not super cool, but I mean, I think the movie's pretty cool. I think it's pretty great. Oh, I love this disc, by the way. This disc is absolutely amazing. It's pretty gorgeous. But yeah, great film, great action adventure. And then we have The Hunger Games: Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. I don't know why, like, okay, this movie was such like a pop culture revelation when it first came out, and then people for some reason started turning on it and started hating this movie. I absolutely love this film. I love this cover as well. It's super duper cool. I haven't popped in this 4K of the film, but I saw it 3 times in theaters, which is crazy to say because this movie is long as hell. Yeah, I really, really like it. I love Tom Blythe. I love Rachel Zegler. I think this is great. I don't know why people started turning on it. And then we have Star Wars: The Force Awakens, another amazing Star Wars film. I love the first 2 sequels. I know a lot of people don't, but it is what it is. This was my first steelbook blind buy, The Wolf of Wall Street. I popped this in again the night that I bought it because I knew I wanted to see it, and I knew I'd probably really, really like it, so I had to tap in. Legendary Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio collaboration. And to end it off, I have 2 final steelbooks. Jurassic Park. I popped in this steelbook, the 4K, one time, but I've also seen it on 35mm. I've seen it regularly in theaters, seen it 3D in theaters, and then for the first time I saw it when it was streaming. But finally, I have Army of Darkness. This is probably one of my favorite things in the entire collection. I watched the Evil Dead trilogy for the first time about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and Army of Darkness was my second favorite in the trilogy, second favorite of the whole franchise, honestly, I'd say. But the more I rewatch this movie, the more I absolutely love it. I need to get Evil Dead 2 on Steelbook or 4K or whatever it is, because I kind of need these to compete. Army of Darkness is definitely winning over my love of the favorite film in the entire trilogy. But that wraps up my entire physical media collection / update for 2025. I had a lot of fun making this video. Let me know if you guys want more laid back talking videos like this one. And of course, let me know what you have in your collection or your favorite pieces in your physical media collection in the comments down below. Subscribe for more movie reviews. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.